Webcasting from Southeast Kansas, I'm Jonathan Switzer. This is the Roboblog Chronicles, the second of two episodes for the week ending September 15th, 2007. I have in my hand a hand-scrawled copy of the IGN Robotech Casting Call list, and we're going to go through it and tell them what they did wrong. Boy, they got a lot of things wrong here. I think there's only like two of these names that I think are right, and one of them is the obvious one. So, we'll start from the top. Captain Henry J. Global, Clint Eastwood. No! Clint Eastwood is much more interested in being a director these days, and he's probably, I think he's too old. He has the wrong commanding presence for Captain Global. He's too much Clint Eastwood. He's not a guy who can really disappear into a role, especially not one like this. My pick would be, of all people in the world, Hugh Laurie, who also doesn't quite fit right, and he's not the ideal choice, but he's the best person I could come up with off the top of my head. He has a commanding presence. You know, he's a British guy who does an American accent all the time for his role on TV. So, you know, getting him to do some other sort of accent shouldn't be that tricky. Or, you know, he could go with the British accent. But with a name like Henry Global, it could be almost any nationality, you know? You know, just dye his hair black and, you know, give him the mustache, and I think, you know, he would even almost look the part. So that's my pick for Global. You know, I'm sure you can come up with one that's better. Rick Hunter is Tobey Maguire, and we're all going to have to live with it. Lisa Hayes, they pick Keira Knightley. No. I'm going to go with their pick for Miria. Lily Sobieski, who you may remember from like a Joan of Arc thing about 10 years ago. She was the love interest for the kid in Deep Impact, following the big crashing meteor movie that wasn't Armageddon about 10 years ago. From the minute I saw this girl, I went, Lisa Hayes. And of course, the minute I saw this girl, she was a little too young for the role, and that was about 10 years ago. So now I think she'd be fine for Lisa. She just looks the part, and she's an excellent actress. So, you know, whereas Keira has such an intensity about her and such a badass vibe that I think she would be perfect for the role of Miria. She's just got that look in her eye that I think would be perfect, and you know, she's got that mouth that can do the smirk just beautifully, and yeah, she's Miria. They got those two names backwards. Lin Min Mei, they pick Amanda Bynes, which is just, what? She's not even Asian. She's not even remotely Asian. You can't even, you know, pull a Memoirs of a Geisha here and say, yeah, we're gonna just get a Japanese actress to play a Chinese girl or vice versa. No, you just picked an American girl to play a girl named Lin Min Mei. You know what you do for Min Mei? You know what you do for Min Mei? You have a big open casting thing for Lin Min Mei. You make a poster with a nice piece of Tommy Yoon artwork, new Tommy Yoon artwork. No, Tommy, you can't just use the same, you know, I want you post. No, you do new artwork. I'm making more work for you, but no. But seriously, you do a nice big poster, and you go all across the country, and we're looking for Miss Macross. We're looking for Miss Macross. You do the Miss Macross pageant for real, and you know, you find a girl who can sing, you find a girl who can dance, you find a girl, hopefully find an Asian girl, but you know, if you find somebody who's actually better for the role who isn't, that's fine too, you know, but you do the whole thing, you make her a star, you give her the Min Mei thing, you know, you do the Min Mei thing for the girl playing Min Mei. It'd be awesome, it'd be perfect, it would be perfect for this movie, it'd be perfect for Robotech. You know, that's what you do for Min Mei. You don't just pick, you know, the first teeny bopper American girl that, you know, comes to mind. No. Roy Fokker, they pick Nathan Fillion from Serenity and Firefly. You know, he'd be a fine choice. Personally, my pick would be Luke Wilson. No, he doesn't quite look the part. But I was thinking about this. I was thinking about sticking Luke Wilson in, doing all the lines, the Roy Fokker lines from Transformation. You know, where he's, you know, trying to get Rick to, you know, stop moping around and join the military. And I heard this voice in all those lines, and I thought, you know, that would be pretty good. Because he's got that sort of, that slight drawl to his voice. He's got that sort of calming presence about him. And he also, I think he looks the part of a fighter jock. So I think that would actually work. Claudia Grant, Zoe Saldana Until they said, oh, she's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, that's who she is. Honestly, it's a terrible thing to say, but you could pick any black actress in Hollywood who isn't Halle Berry, who is too expensive at this point anyway, and I'd be happy, because I just can't stand Halle Berry. I can't stand her at all. I couldn't stand her in X-Men, and I don't think she's hot. I think almost any black actress in Hollywood is actually hotter than Halle Berry. Halle Berry. So Zoe Saldana, is it Saldana? I think it's Saldana. I can't read my own handwriting. It's terrible. But I didn't, and that was the only name on the entire list I didn't really know. Max, Jake Gyllenhaal. Funny. Pick as the other, main fighter guy, after Fokker kicks the bucket. You pick the other guy who was up for Spider-Man to be the other fighter guy. That's great. But I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt from Third Rock from the Sun. He's older now, but he still looks basically the same. He can pull off the long hair, and he comes off as younger and more inexperienced. And you can do the Max character arc with him. He's the unassuming looking, quiet young guy who an absolute demon on the battlefield. He fits that much more than Jake Gyllenhaal does. Jake Gyllenhaal looks kind of creepy. Okay, it's why he really worked in Donnie Darko. He looks kind of creepy, so I don't think he's a very good Max. I mean, if you're doing the Max from DYRL, the one who's cocky to begin with, when you meet him, Jake Gyllenhaal wouldn't be so bad. But I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt would really work well for that role. Ben Dixon, Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is a director. Seth Rogen is making the Green Hornet movie. Seth Rogen's stars on the rise. You're not going to be able to get Seth Rogen by the time you're doing this movie. And beyond that, it's kind of a waste, because he's the big doofy guy who gets killed. So I think almost any slightly overweight comedic actor in Hollywood could do the role of Ben Dixon. Ben Dixon doesn't require any pathos or acting or anything. So just find some guy for that. Dolza. I don't care who plays Dolza. Dolza is a plot device. Dolza, you just do a special effect for Dolza and give somebody with a cool voice like let's say Anthony Hopkins to do the role, okay? Michael Clark Duncan. They have Michael Clark Duncan down, and you don't waste Michael Clark Duncan on Dolza. No! He's a big, powerful looking guy with a really cool, deep voice. No, he's Bretai. He's Bretai. Because he looks like a guy who could take a Valkyrie apart, with his bare hands. Picture Michael Clark Duncan blue with the faceplate on, swinging the Valkyrie around, smashing it into those spikes. Yes, Michael Clark Duncan's Bretai. He's not Dolza. Chiron. Bretai then Clive Owen. Clive Owen, who should be Chiron? Because he's got the accent. He can do that. He's got that great voice. That if you add that sinister, snide tone to it, if you just give Clive Owen a couple of espressos before he goes on, he could be Chiron. They had Heath Ledger down. Heath Ledger's the Joker. The Chiron's a step down for him. Clive Owen, I think you could almost actually reasonably get for this kind of role, especially it's something he could sink his teeth into. Heath Ledger, no. Exodor, Zachary Quinto. You're picking Zachary Quinto because he's on the rise, because he's a hot commodity, because he's Spock now. No. There's one guy in all of Hollywood who looks right for Exodor, and that's Steve Buscemi. It's been Steve Buscemi for 10 years. Back when, everybody was talking about casting calls back on the old Robotech message board, Steve Buscemi is Exodor. They're saying it because it's true. He looks the part. And, if he's 10 years older, that's even better, because, Exodor is supposed to be an older character. He's supposed to, be a wizened little, weird guy. Steve Buscemi, you don't even have to do any special effects on him, practically. You just have to sort of turn him purple. Miria, we've covered Miria. Azonia, Tricia Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, the hot Cylon chick. I thought this might be a bad idea, because why would you waste her on Azonia? Azonia's not much of a character. But then I pictured, I moved Clive Owen down to Chiron, and I pictured, Tricia Helfer and Clive Owen together at the end of the Macross saga, in the Reconstruction era. I went, nah, that's pretty good. You did a good job there, guys. Anyway, so there's the list. That's my picks. That's me rearranging practically the whole list. So, you know, put your picks in the comments thread. This is Captain JLS, signing off.